does.
It's amazing how left-handers seem to be better potters than right-handers, don't they? I mean, Jimmy White, Robertson, Trump, Perry Mans of years ago. I don't know why it should be, but goodness me, they're fabulous long potters.
9.
Probably the last of the loose reds down this end of the table, so again, nice angle on the black required after potting this red.
14.
Could have left a little bit more of a cute angle than he did. He'll have to use a lot of power, and he is blessed with a lot of cue power, has to be said. He would have loved the cue ball just a couple of inches up towards the bulk area there. Yeah, didn't have the right angle, so it's gone back up for the loose red and balk.
21.
If there was one slight criticism of Judd Trump, it's how hard he hits the ball. I mean, against Dominic, he was really
22.
thumping the ball, and obviously if you're not playing well, it just makes you look quite amateurish. But of course, when he's knocking them in, it just looks fantastic.
Yellow ball.
Thing is, you have to cue so well when you hit the ball that hard. There's no movement for, you know, not in the centre of the pocket. That was a good shot. Purposely played into the pack. Would have been unlucky not to be on one, the pace he played it, but he is on one, albeit not okay to get on the black. We were thinking of just flicking off the pink and trying to leave the half ball black. But he missed the kiss on the pink, but he's still on the black, I think.
Judd Trump.
There's another example of sometimes when Judd gets in, you'd expect him to win a frame, and sometimes he misses an easy one. That was one I expected him to pot. 25-point lead. First frame, though, you'd expect a little bit of nerves in this match. These two players have played each other only twice, and Maguire has won both times.
One.
Yeah, trusting a little bit of luck when potting that red. He knew he was going to cannon into colours, but he's on the blue. I think the blue does pot. And a couple of loose reds have come out of the pack as well, so just got to try and avoid the kiss if you can on the yellow.
Blue ball.
Yeah, totally misjudged the kiss. Ken and I thought he might be able to miss the kiss on the yellow, but obviously he felt he couldn't, so he tried to hit the yellow, you know, at least full ball, but he called it half ball. And that's the reason the cue balls ended up near the corner pocket. Tough shot this. He could play it slow and get on the pink in the middle, but that's very dangerous. It was a really tough shot, that. I expected him to pot it.
6.
Yeah, it hasn't come out too bad. Yeah, he's left Judd a half chance, so this could have been a lot easier. quite difficult to judge these. He didn't play it with too much confidence, making sure of the safety. And he's got a good cue ball as well.
It's a bit of a bow tie he's got on, isn't it? I've seen one like that for a while. Looks like white earth.
It's a Maverick bow tie, I think it's called. He's quite a Maverick player as well, isn't he?
He's wonderful when he's good, isn't he?
Yeah.
He really is wonderful.
Well, we may see one of his Judd Trump specials here.
Yeah, I've known him myself since he was 13, 14 years of age. He used to play in all the junior tournaments at my club in Leicester when they were having them, and we always knew then he was going to be a good player. The only surprising thing was, Ken, it took him a long while to prove it.
Yeah, but he certainly, as you said, when he got to the final of the World Championship last year, he certainly lit up that tournament. And here's one of the examples of, well, he can play this for the pink or the blue, but sometimes he likes to screw these back into baulk.
Well, neither player yet are hitting the ball well. It will improve, that's for sure. But who will improve first?
This is a possible line. We've taken those two reds just below the pink spot, two cushions, big target behind yellow and brown.
Foul.
Oh, that appeared to
Stephen
curl a
Maguire,
little bit. It looked like hitting the cushion about where the baulk line was and just straightened up a little bit. We'll get a chance to have a look at this now. It looked like hitting the baulk line there, didn't it? Then just pulled out a little bit. That's the first time I've seen one roll off on this table. It's played beautifully true all throughout the week. So we saw Judd Trump just miss a shot very similar to this. I'm sure Maguire played with a little bit more confidence. He may decide to screw back in baulk, but he normally likes to take the bull by the horns and play for either pink or blue would be a good choice. And that's what he's done, and that's the difference. Judd tried to screw back into baulk, obviously not feeling too confident. Maguire, even though he'd missed one on the previous shot at distance, played that very, very confidently. Deserves what you get from here. That was an excellent shot.
Seven. Eight. 14. 15.
He's not too bad. He's nice angle on the black. Just get onto those reds to the left of the pink, into the right centre.
$22. 23.
Yeah, just coming around to have a look at that red. It does go by these two reds into this left-hand corner pocket. And if you can get a little angle, there you see those two reds. They don't pot into this right-hand corner pocket, so a little angle on this red, you can just push the cue ball through and bring those two reds
29.
into play. It looks a little bit straight, but may be able to force it. Not quite sure he's going to attempt it here, but it is on.
30.
Well, decided against it, and he's looked a little bit straight, didn't he, really, on that red?
Yeah, I'm not sure whether he didn't play it, Ken, to be honest. He just potted it in the middle of the pocket. If he'd have potted it slightly off the right-hand draw, I think he would have got the kiss. And the key thing is he's still in play, and he's got a 15-point. Just look how close he got to the red. So I think he may have actually played it, but just didn't quite pinch the pocket enough. Of course, that's how good these players are. They don't necessarily pop them all in the centre of the pocket. Sometimes to create an angle, they played it off a jaw. Well, that's not very good.
And that all became because he didn't play that shot
37.
the way he should have, taken the bull by the horns, and because he needed to bring those two reds into play, and that's a mistake. And he'd be very disappointed with himself. Good opportunity to win the frame there.
Yeah, both players have now had one good chance, haven't they? Judd broke down on 25. Stevens broke down on 37. The only good thing, it's been called touching ball, so it'd be amazing if he doesn't cannon the brown here and leave him snookered.
Stephen Maguire, 37.
And he played into the brown, so he'd have been using the brown in his eye line. I thought, if I kiss the brown, I'm bound to get him snookered. He didn't quite kiss the brown. You've got to love this guy. Where do you think you've got him safe? Tight on the cushion. I mean, just rifled it into the pocket and found the gap as well. Brilliant.
Three.
Well, he's overrun that. He'll be very disappointed. He's still got a pot on the top red, but a lot more difficult than he would have liked.
It's a big target, Ken, wasn't it, from the yellow to get on both reds? He'll be disappointed with that.
Could knock the brown around the angles here, couldn't he? Well, he take the yellow on, but he could knock the brown around the angles and try and get that cue ball tight behind the green. But he does like to go for his pots, this young boy.
This is Judd Trump we're talking about. He's looking at your shot now, maybe behind the yellow, but I wouldn't be surprised if he took the blow on, but that's what he's like. He's decided because it is first frame, he's going to play the safety.
Brown. Judd Trump, 4.
Wow, that is so bad. It's amazing that it just didn't concentrate at all on that. He's left Stephen a pot to nothing. It's very tough to get these young players to give the same concentration to safety as they do potting. But got down and just played it very quickly. Well, he's going to need all his concentration on this one. If you can't see the one next to the blue, this is a really tough safety. Well, you can see the one nearest to brown and he's taking it on. Needs that red to go past the brown, otherwise he could be in a little bit of trouble. That's how close he was, just a fraction away from potting it.
Well, that was a clever shot, wasn't it? Knew he couldn't get in behind the brown, but just have a look at how difficult this shot will be. This is very awkward to play. He's really good cueing, and when you're cueing over a ball, it's very, very difficult. Oh, he's played it well. Good shot.
He's just looking to see if this red will pass the blue into the corner, but I don't think it does. It's a relatively easy safety shot as long as the blue is not planted into the middle pocket. He can just play it thin and get in behind the brown. Just having another look to see that it pots. It doesn't look like it. My colleague Ken's put this line up. That's the shot I suggested. Now, as long as it's not planting the blue in the middle, he could play that, but I can only presume the blue must be very, very close to being potted if he plays off that red.
Foul.
Well, we talked about it, didn't we?
Judd trump 5.
Why you no listen?
It's because he doesn't have an earpiece, will he? Well, he's lucky he hasn't left the free ball, and anyway, the plan probably wasn't dead on, but he just probably made it just because he got a thicker contact on the red. But he's left himself in another precarious position. He may have to attempt to have a go at this red.
It's one of those things, isn't it? Judd's put him back into play, thinking, well, I hope he has a go at this, but if he gets down and knocks it in, he'd be sick. An attempt at the pot, and very luckily got the double kiss and got away with it. Surely not behind the green as well. Wow. Oh dear, not even a hand up in apology. You're not telling us you played that, Mr. Maguire.
Foul. And a miss. Stephen Maguire 7.
Well, that bit of good fortune in getting the snookers given Stephen Maguire a chance to take this opening frame now. He's 20 points in front, so red colour red. We'll put him 28 points in front if he takes the pink.
1.
scrappy opening frame, but in its own way, it's had a little bit of excitement because both players have looked like winning it on at least one occasion. Just coming up to 25 minutes, this opening frame, and that I'm sure will be almost the longest frame of the match.
7.
Yes, and this is frame ball, but it's certainly not easy. He's got to give it a chance to get into the pocket. Doesn't want to hit this too hard because these can rattle. Nice. Good shot.
8.
Well, as in both his opening matches, Judd has struggled to get off the starting blocks very quickly. I think the way Maguire's playing, Ken, he needs to get a foothold in this match. I think worst way, I mean, 2 each at the interval, I think, is what he can be happy with. I mean, obviously, he could still win the next 3, such as Judd's prowess in the break building department. But at this moment in time, he looks a little bit out of sorts. On the other hand,
14.
Steve Maguire is starting to flow like he did against John Higgins.
17. $21. 26.
So no real fireworks in this opening frame.
32.
But a couple of 30+ breaks, and Steve Maguire's got off to the start he needed. Judd Trump hasn't, so it's Steve Maguire who takes the opening frame.
Thanks, Stephen. Thank you. The second frame, Steve Maguire to break.
Yeah, so Steve Maguire breaks off. Again, leaving another attempt there for Judd Trump. Well, he's missed a few of these in the first frame. He's quite a long way away. Again. An awful long way away from that one, hitting the top cushion. So still hasn't settled down, Judd Trump, just yet. Yeah, I don't think Maguire, although he does like to go for them, he won't be going for as many as probably normal. And he knows that he's going to get chances against Judd Trump. He's got to be a little bit patient. Wanted a plant there, Judd Trump, but he's got the cover. This is a situation you're sort of forced into going for these type of shots, aren't you, Will?
Yeah, absolutely, Ken. And he'll be leaving one on. May go all out to play for pink or black if he can screw across the face of the pink, but the red's quite a long way down. He played the bottom red of the two. I thought he'd play the one nearest to him. That could be and should be very costly. He's not found his striking boots yet, because okay, the pink's on in the middle, but he certainly would have played for the black there. It's actually probably turned out okay, because it means now he can get rid of the red on the black spot, and that then gives the black plenty of room to go on. So it's developed into a good early chance. I mean, from the way he started, I think he needs to get 40 or 50 just to get a bit of confidence going. It's one of those players that's a confidence player.
Eight.
Well, it's not the best shot you can play there. You want to be a lot straighter on this black. May have to go for the red just next to the blue.
15. 16. 22. 23.
Yes, just getting on the loose red, and the two reds just above this red after he pots. They may be a plant into this corner pocket as well. So there you see the line just above this red.
29.
This will certainly tell us whether he's had a look at that or not.
They just had a quick glance at the possible plant in the middle as well, but he's going into them. And that's turned out to be very, very nice. Doesn't matter how good you are, you've got to have that little bit of good fortune, because he lost the white there, but luckily for him the red came up as well.
Yes, and just look at the split. Absolutely beautiful.
$42. 43. 50. 51.
Hasn't left the best angle on this black. He can run around probably two cushions, and there's probably two reds at pot in the opposite corner. He's played that nicely. He's played that very nicely.
58.
Put the splits up, mate.
59.
Break goes to 66, so just this red on a colour. This will certainly make
67.
Judd Trump feel nice and relaxed.
Yes, he's looked a bit out of sorts. He's looked a little bit out of sorts, Ken, hasn't he, in this match? You know, the first frame and a bit, but boy, he soon gets himself in stride.
72.
Yeah, just a little bit too much side there. But yeah, he started off slow against Dominic, didn't he? Started off a little slow against Ronnie. But when he gets going...
Judd Trump, 72.
Well, it's a 72 break. Steve Maguire will definitely come back to the table. 2 4-point snookers required to win this frame, but always that chance of, once you leave one red on the table, possibility of a free ball.
The key here, of course, is to pot the next 3 reds and 3 big colours and just leave the last remaining red up, as Ken just suggested. It's always better to get a chance of a free ball with the last red on. And no disrespect to Judd's bias in the safety department, but Judd is not quite as good as getting out of snookers as some players. The frame's not dead yet.
$16. Steve Maguire, 16.
Well, the guys talked about Steve Maguire sometimes when he gets a little bit angry with himself, and when leaving the table there, he thumped the table.
1. Eight. 9. $14. 14 and a frame.
Maguire acknowledges his defeat, so largely due to that wonderful break of 72, just at the right time for Judd Trump to level at 1-all. There's times in a break, Ken, where you've got to go into the bunch, and we see a prime example here when Judd Trump was in the balls, and he's left the black perfect. He had a chance of playing for a choice of 2 plants. He could have played for the plant at the bottom, but such is the aggressive Judd Trump, he plays with a lot of topspin and plays the cannon.
Yeah, and he plays these so well. He's got so much cue power. Now you see the arc. Okay, he didn't arc it enough there, but he just hits the ball so hard. He's got so much power in the cue. And there you see the topspin on the ball, but the way the ball split as well, from the amount of cue power that he has, is just magnificent.
Yeah, the key is with topspin, you've got it as high as you like. Now watch the white now, it'll virtually stop for a second, and then the spin will take charge. You see how the spin takes charge, and then it accelerates. Now this happens when you're playing the break off into the pack. The white hits the cushion, then suddenly the topspin takes off, and that's what gets the arc as well. The massive amount of topspin arcs the cue ball. It has to be said, Ken, he was a little bit fortunate to push the red up the other end of the table as well.
Yeah, absolutely. But as you said, when the white goes into the reds, this topspin keeps accelerating the cue ball through the reds and brings more into play. It's just a wonderful shot to have in the bag. So back level again, 1 frame each, and as we've seen in the previous 2 frames, there has been a red that's poked its nose out, given player coming to the table a possibility of a pot. He won't be able to get back the ball here. He may have to try and drop it in, or is he playing safe? No, refused it. Maybe he wasn't on it. Sometimes, as we've seen this week, Willie, you know, it's not always an advantage to have the break off, because the Reds have been coming out and leaving your opponent shot to nothing.
Can you remember just a couple of years ago we were talking at a tournament whether it was an advantage anymore to break off, because every time they were leaving Reds, and at least now they've found a way, as you would expect from these top class professionals, find a way of sometimes not leaving the long pot on. I mean, there must be a break off that you can almost guarantee to get a good white. I think in fairness Judd Trump's breaks off as good as anybody. Years ago on the slightly thicker cloth, and we always used to love breaking off because you could almost guarantee, couldn't you, getting the white tight on the cushion behind the green, opening the Reds out and never leaving a long pot on. It's amazing, this fine cloth, how that shot has become virtually extinct.
No, Steve Maguire be very pleased with that outcome. He was very lucky there. Could have left that red in the middle of the table. Now Judd Trump would like to get the cue ball over the left-hand side of the table, somewhere over behind the yellow. Well, again, he's gone down the green side, but he's left a very simple safety shot for Maguire. If he got the cue ball over the left-hand side of the table, down around behind the yellow, it's a little bit more difficult for Maguire to get the ball safe.
Thing is, Ken, you're one of the best safety players in the world, and that's an art you've got to learn, isn't it? I mean, Judd there didn't think about covering one half of the table. People like yourself and John Higgins and Mark Selby, you know, they look for that, putting the player in trouble. I think Judd's still at a stage in his career where he's just happy to get the white somewhere near the top cushion sometimes and not think about what you were talking about. Ken's putting a line up now to show the similar shot he could play here. Now, if he just plays thin off, it's the wrong shot.
Yeah, see if he gets the cue ball over somewhere behind the yellow, it just makes it just more difficult. Well, he's tried it this time.
Yeah. Irene, can you ask him to turn the mains down?
He's
Just
gone
turn
into
your
the brown.
earpieces down. It's just a bit too loud still, thank you.
Your line was into the brown, Ken.
It was. Steve Maguire just going around to have a look at the plant. There is a red in the middle of the table, and you see it's sort of going into the red just over the hole, so it may help it on its way.
Yeah, I think he can make this, Ken, as well.
It's there, good shot. Needs a kiss on the brown, and he's got it.
Oh, quite clearly, as you can see, he's overscrewed that. He's played for the red in the middle. That one does pot just to the left of the black. But as you can see, it's very, very tight. And the red he's going to take in the middle, queuing over the pink, is tough. He almost miscued there. He just kind of just flung the cue at it in the end. His cue came off his bridge hand. I'm surprised actually he didn't miscue the way he hit it. He hit it right on the top of the white. Just keep an eye on this here. Look, his cues come right off his hand. Amazing.
Well, he has a possibility. He has a nice angle on the brown. Will he attempt to go into the reds and bring some more into play? There are plenty of loose reds available, but an opportunity to bring them all into play here. Well, he attempted to, but didn't just catch the pink full ball. He's on this red. Just wanted to catch that pink full ball and just bring more reds into play, but he's still back in prime position. Again, may attempt to go into the parquet again. Just got the pink on the run side, want to be inside it there. But it's another good opportunity here, Woody, to go into
Yeah,
the
the
pack.
reason you're suggesting that, Ken, of course, he's got the pink and blacker out of play, and he can, as you rightly say, okay, there's plenty of loose reds, but he's got to play into the two reds to the right of the pink here, just to... Well, I'm surprised he hasn't, because it's very, very tough to keep the break going at the moment. Clearly, there's reds on, but black and pink out
60.
of play. Just wondering a couple of shots' times whether they regret not playing that little slow cannon. They certainly regret it now. Oh,
70.
the thing is, because we commentate an awful lot, you get to kind of see when the advantage is to play into the pack and when it's not. And sometimes when you're out there, you're so kind of buzzed up in the match, and you know, sometimes you don't see the right shot, and he's put himself in a little bit of trouble now. We know that the one next to the black does pot, but it's very tight. I'll try to use the jaws of the pocket. There is still a red on,
22.
but this is a little bit dangerous because he's got no idea where the white's going to end up. Going to cannon into the red, so just playing the safety. So may have missed a trick there, and Stephen is one of the most aggressive players in the game. He probably just didn't spot it.
Thanks. Stephen Maguire, 22.
Little careful here, because if he plays the cross double, which is the natural safety shot, the red will be cannon into one of those two reds either side of the black spot and could push one of those over the corner, so has to be a little careful with this one. Wow, managed to miss all four of them. I thought he was sure to kiss one of them. That's not a bad escape to balk.
Here's another possibility. Red just above the black spot, off two cushions, and try and swing that cue ball again over behind the yellow. Again, he's come up the easier side, and he started playing into Maguire's hands. He's not really leaving difficult safety shots for him here. They're pretty straightforward. He could find himself in trouble here.
Yeah, we just talked about it, Ken, didn't we? How sometimes young Judd is just happy to get the ball past the baulk line, and that was another example there. Okay, Stephen's faced with a slightly tricky shot, but he's not getting a real advantage from his safety, Judd. Even though Judd didn't put Stephen under a lot of pressure there with his safety.
Well, this could be a mistake. I didn't want that red coming back up into the centre of the table, so he's left the possibility of a pot. The only problem is, where's this cue ball going to go? Well, how did he find a gap through those reds there? Have a look at this.
Well, I can only presume the way he played it, Kenny, was trying to bring the black into play, because I mean, to go through the gap of the red and the black was definitely not what he played. Steve Maguire really tempted by the long pot, but the green is hampering him, and he'll be trying to get the cue ball near the blue here. And this looks very, very good. But Judd can see the one just below the pink and get the white in a similar position. Yeah, my colleague Ken has put that line up again, and that shot is definitely on. So just play left-hand side off the one that's just below the pink, and you should get round those angles. Depends whether you hit it too thick. That can go wrong if you hit it too thick. Somewhere near the line, Ken. You're not getting bad. I'll have to have a little word with Dennis. I'll have to have a little word with Dennis Taylor about you.
Thank you. Foul. And a miss.
Well, good luck, Jan. I think you're going to have to put these back.
Judd trump
Now, we
4.
could be here for a while. Jan just smiling, just hoping. They're all smiling. There was only 17 balls moved, Jan. You should be able to get those back very quickly.
I think Jan is praying that Judd doesn't want the balls back, to be fair. He does have a pot on into the right-hand corner pocket, but certainly far from easy.
I think, in fairness, just to save Jan's embarrassment, just run up to the red that's on the cushion and let Steve Maguire look at this. I mean, how has he not knocked the black in? How has he not gone in off? Amazing.
He might do Jan a favour here and not have them replaced. Yeah, this red is on. And there's plenty of value there. There is the black, of course, is over the corner pocket, but this is tough. Oh, great shot. What a fantastic shot.
One.
Well, that deserves to win any frame. As Jan wipes his brow. Have a look at this.
Six balls moved, we've counted them there. But what a pot from Judd Trump. OK, potting it slowly was a good shot, but to play it at pace. And in fairness, if he hadn't kissed the red, he almost made it into a shot to nothing. If it had gone past the baulk line, he just flicked the red, it would have been a shot to nothing. As he is, he's on the blue nicely. And a chance to score heavily.
That's worked out nice as well. Watch this for a pot again. Such a brave shot to take on.
If he misses that red, Ken, it is a shot to nothing, isn't it? It's been important, fantastic pot.
Seven.
Well, it has to be said, if he pots balls like that under pressure, you deserve to win a frame. And we often talk about making your own luck. He thought, well, if I have a go at this and get it, I've got a chance to win the frame. He got the opening red and probably deserved to win the frame after that.
13. $20. 21. $28.
Always got to take a little bit of care with these. I know they should be nice and straightforward, but if you ever catch the near jaw, they don't go in. So you've got to
29.
give that plenty of care, that kind of shot. He's now 12 in front. 3 reds and 3 colours available after this without playing the 2 reds on the cushion. And that should just about put him past the winning line, depending on what colours he takes.
36. $37.
That was an excellent shot there, playing for the choice of 2 reds.
Thanks. 41.
Just a quick glance at the scoreboard. We'll tell him he's now 24 in front, the black 31.
$48.
Yeah, so he's going to need one of these reds around the cushion. Well, the left-hand side is not too bad for a left-hander. Well, still, he's got to get right
49.
behind it. Yeah, that's pretty good. If these reds are touching the cushion, it just makes it a little bit easier. Sort of hugs the cushion a little bit here. There you see.
55.
38 points ahead, but certainly no heroics with this black. Yeah, just make sure of the pot. And again, a good break from Judd Trump
62.
off an excellent opening red.
Judd Trump, 62.
Well, considering how poor Judd Trump looked in the first frame and a bit, he's played awesome since then. The opening red there was just superb. I mean, definitely deserved to score heavily, but you wouldn't have thought a possible frame winner. And he's made 72 from nowhere, and he's made 62 from the opening red, which was superb. So thoroughly deserved to be 2-1 in front, and we get a quick chance to show the opening red. I mean, it's okay just rolling it in, but rolling it in's no good. He couldn't get on the pink or black. He had to play it at pace. Never touched the sides and went on to make 62. Is it time for a few Judd Trump trick shots now? Looks like it. Kiss the blue, yeah, look at the shot, didn't it? Just kiss the blue to hold for the yellow. Not a lot of people have thought of that.
8.
Where's this going to end up? He's lovely to watch. He's very, very good when he's in the balls. He's a new kid on the block, and he's taken a 2-1 lead over Stephen Maguire.
Thanks. Thank you. Frame 4. Stephen Maguire to break.
There's one thing for certain, Stephen Maguire's going to have to change his break-up in this game. Judd Trump, as we talked about it at the last frame, that Judd seems to have found a way of covering that opening red. Stephen Maguire hasn't. That's twice he's broke off, twice he's left the long pot. OK, the first frame he didn't knock it in, but that frame obviously straight in the middle. See, it used to be such an easy shot here to whip it round and not leave that red. But when it comes that narrow inside the blue, it doesn't come off wide enough to get in behind the green. You've got to somehow develop a break-off that comes wide.
Yeah. 7.
Well, as he covered himself here, it'll be very close.
12.
Just about.
$13.
He's such a fantastic potter, isn't he? I mean, even the opening red, the way the balls just crack into the back of the pocket. Trying to get on the red just above the black here, and it's an excellent shot. Well played.
18.
It's quite amazing because sometimes he mistimes the ball so bad. I'm sure on the previous red he potted, he played it on the blue top side almost and slightly mishit it, but then he plays a shot like that. He's an amazing talent, he really is.
19.
Purposely refusing the black. He'd like to refuse the black because that red's nearest the black spot. He'd love to get rid of that red if he could off this pink.
Judd Trump. 19.
Oh, that's unforgivable. That is a howler. Didn't have anything to do with the cue ball, Ken, did he? That's just lack of concentration.
Yeah, just, well, he was concentrating more on position than he was on the pot. Just took his eye off the pot slightly. Maybe disappointed. It was a good opportunity.
One.
Yeah, he's just having a look at it. 2 reds.
6.
At the top of the pack. Will they be a plant into this right hand corner pocket? So he's taking a few shots ahead here. There you see it, almost dead set. He's dead straight on this red, and the easiest thing would be to get on the black, but as Willie pointed out, the black could be tied up. So he may elect to go up for the blue here. Well, looks like he's running through for the black now. Be interesting to see where the black goes.
7.
Yes, he's grimaced there because he needed to be slightly higher on the black so he could have moved the red away from the black spot. He frowned a little bit there when he saw the white finish low on the black. He can't play that now. He's probably forced into going into the bunch. This is one of the times where you don't mind the back of the pack being flat, because if he plays the screw shot off the black, he could spin off that flat back pack, as we call it, and get onto the red that's next to the black, but decided against it. He's taking the pink. begin to tell you how hard that shot is to play. When you're playing with check side and they're just off the cushion, very, very tough to play. That was brilliant.
Just going to measure that to be safe. It'll go on the black spot. Yeah. Do you want to show you?
Well, a slight error of judgment. He didn't think
13.
that the pink could go on its black spot, and have a look at that.
Oh, for such a good pot on the pink. He'd be distraught, won't he?
Stephen Maguire, 13.
Well, I don't know even why he even attempted the pot. I mean, obviously he was playing to pot the red in the middle and bring the pink or black into play, but he couldn't play it hard enough for that to happen. That was a very surprising choice of shot. I mean, look how hard he'd have had to play it to flick the pink into play, and he did miss it by quite some way. But he's been fortunate, left him very, very hampered. I think you're going to have to play the long pot, Judd. I don't decided against it. Any problem here, Stephen Maguire's just going to run into the pack now. We could be here for a while. What an aggressive safety shot that was. I think he's decided he's going to keep the balls open, even though Judd's potting really well. And that was a very aggressive choice of shot. Will he force Judd into having a go at one of these reds in the middle? May well do. There's no straightforward safety shot, that's for certain. This is a little bit unlike what Steve was saying. He was saying the players sometimes take a very aggressive path. If you're in a situation where you've got no choice, sometimes you have to play the pot, and it may look reckless if he gets down and misses this, but there's no safety on. What Steve was saying in commentary in the studio was that they tend to play shots when most players would play safe now. When are we ever going to see Judd Trump take over a minute to play a shot? Every Pancake Tuesday, I would suggest.
Yeah, it's just such a difficult shot to get back. He's going to have to dig down on this red here. Got to be careful of where the red's going to go. He doesn't want the double kiss. And well, he's been very fortunate that he's covered the red over the green pocket, but he could be in a bit of trouble here. Red next to the pink. Try and get the push that away and try and get the cue ball right in behind the pink, knock the black away.
But until that red arrived, Kenny got a straightforward pot on the, okay, it'd been on the cushion, but it was a virtually unmissable, the one in balk area. And that red, Judd played safe off, went all the way around the table and covered the pot. That's an excellent safety. It's Steve Maguire's time to risk taking a pot on, because once again the safety is very tough. Not too sure whether he can get to the red right near the pocket off the side cushion. Well, we know that the red pot's in the yellow pocket. It may be pots in the middle as well, the one that's virtually on the pink spot. That's very risky.
This is a possibility of two cushions. And try and land up tight behind that red over the green pocket. I don't think he'd be leaving a pot, but he's got to get very close to that red. But he also has... he could go up the other side, up where the brown is. Possibility of potting to the right centre, but concentrating the cue ball up beside the brown. Well, didn't attempt the pot. How's his cue ball? Looks pretty good.
Does this not cut? Obviously not. That's a great shot if this cut's not on. Just coming to have a look at the potting angle. Decided it's probably not on. Looking at that particular camera angle, I don't think it is. It's easy enough to play safe off that red though.
Well, what a clever shot that was. Very well worked out. Oh, excellent shot. Well played. Judge that to perfection. Have a look at this red. Oh, a little beauty this was. Very well worked out, and safety in mind. Now an excellent opportunity.
Six.
Black does pot.
Black ball.
Well, we talk many times about making your own luck, and that was another occasion there where Judd Trump's opening red and the brown to go around the back of the pink and black was absolutely top draw. So he deserves exactly what he gets from there. And it nearly wasn't
14.
many. Any harder. I don't think that would have got in any harder.
Yeah, went in the side door, didn't it? Well, he's having a look at trying to cannon into those two reds over the right centre. Knowing full well he'd still be on the red over the corner, and this is an excellent shot again. Well played. What a shot that was. It was very, very clever. Knowing full well, even if he misses the cannon on those two reds, he'll still be on this red over the green pocket. But now what he's done, he's brought those two reds into play as well. So excellent positional shot.
21.
just really does show you what a talent
27.
Judd Trump is, because Steve Maguire's not actually played poorly in this match. His safety was in very good, but Judd's just found 2 or 3 pots from absolutely nowhere. I mean, Maguire would have been pretty happy with his safety today, and on 3 occasions he's not one in. So those stats don't necessarily tell the truth, because when you played a good safety shot and they're not one in, that 85% should be probably about 90 bar for those wonderful pots. It's amazing. 37 points in front and counting, so, and he needs a red in the colour, and he's 3-1.
Yes, and he's played
35.
2 very, very clever shots, I must say. His opening red, the double, and that positional shot,
36.
bringing those 2 reds into play. 42 points ahead, 43 still left on the table, so pink will be sufficient.
And very
42.
similar to the previous game, Steve Maguire will carry on if this double doesn't go in.
43.
If the double doesn't go in. Left it perfect to bring this red into play as well from the pink. Stephen Maguire decides that's enough. So Judd Trump takes an interval 3-1 lead. Well, that was interesting in the studio there. Lots of things to talk about, and also in the interval I know that Judd Trump was tweeting, and it was heard to say that he feels like he's using somebody else's arm, and I've not got going yet. Well, I don't know what he's going to do if he gets going.
Well, we have that to look forward to. Mind playing the way he does and not get going.
The pot success rate for this match is clearly the man in front is obviously going to be in front, as you can clearly see there, but I don't think Maguire's missed that many. It's you know, like I say, his safety play, as we see that black disappear from that safety shot, his safety play from Maguire has been absolutely superb. It's just that Judd's just knocked some unbelievable balls in. This was a poor safety shot from Judd, so that'll bring his safety success down. Completely mishit it, hit it far too thick, hence cannon in the black. But he hasn't left an easy first red.
One.
Well, the baulk colours have always been on their spots there since the game was invented, but it's amazing how many times you hit them, and because he's quite close to the cushion, it'll be a tough job to guarantee getting the guaranteed gap you'd expect him to, a player at this level. But many times the baulk colours are kissed from this kind of shot. Digging down, the white tends to skid before it takes. It's amazing, isn't it? They've been there a long time, those baulk colours.
6. Steve Maguire 6.
Shake it ahead from Steve Maguire. He knows these are pretty straightforward for this boy. These long shots into the corner pocket. The problem is he'll have to swing the cue ball around the back of the black and try and avoid some reds and get up on either the blue or one of the ball colours.
Looks like he's going all out for the pot here. That's the only way he can guarantee getting back into baulk. So it's the deep screw back into baulk. Didn't really get the screw. Left Judd trump a relatively easy red at distance, as he's usually very, very proficient at. Having to swing around 2 cushions with blue or green, I would think, on this particular shot. Played it nicely.
1.
Just held it a little bit too much. Because he's finished so short on the blue, may decide to play the blue into the green pocket.
Six.
Well, he's just trying to see if that black goes there, Ken. What do you think?
Yeah, it's very tight, but I think it does go, but he's got to be almost dead straight behind it. And he's sort of an angle in there. Very hard to see. Now, can he stun this red in and force an angle on this red? It looks pretty straight as well. He's looking at a few different shots here. Excellent cue power again. Not too many players in the game can play these type of shots.
We mentioned Stephen Maguire's shot when he was playing the blue, but this time Judd Trump's going to play a similar shot, but because he's so much nearer the blue, Ken, it's a lot easier, isn't it, to get the path through the baulk colours. When they're nearer the cushion, it's harder to play, isn't it?
12.
He's played that very well.
13.
We need to see Maguire's first to show how difficult that was, and then how easy it was from getting your hand on the table. So you need to show that.
$19. 24. 25.
Now, the only thing that could go wrong there is if this is straight. Slight angle, so maybe had to come out nicely for the loose red.
Go on, Judd.
And from nowhere, once again, Ken, he's developed this into a possible frame winner.
32.
Yeah, good opportunity.
33.
Here, we might see an example of this top spin again. Just have a look at the cue ball here. A lot of top spin, try and arc the cue ball into the pack. Lots of power here. Well, he's played a little bit more control, but the result is pretty much the same. He's on a red into this left-hand corner pocket. Slight arc. He's taking these
41.
really, really well.
46. $47.
There you see putt success. Trump up to 92 now, 87% for Steve Maguire. He's going to need one more good cannon to win this frame.
52.
Whenever you used to play cannons into the pack, Ken, did you prefer to be low on the black or use the cushion to go into the pack?
Yeah, my preference was always
53.
being low, and that's a little bit straight. He wanted to be low so he could just stun the cue ball in, but yeah, I always prefer it to be low. A lot of players that don't have the cue power that this boy has. Great shot. I think he's on the red into left centre.
60.
I wonder if he's feeling his left arm now. I mean, it's 72, 62, 43,
61.
61 and counting. So just one more red.
68.
And that will be Judd Trump going further clear at 4-1. Judd Trump's another one of those left-handed players that uses the rest right-handed, which is very unusual.
76. 77.
Well, Ken, it doesn't get a lot better than this, my friend, does it?
No, excellent break, and the only thing
85.
missing now is a century. Highest break so far, 144 in the tournament by Steve Maguire. Trump's highest break in this tournament so far, 98.
$91.
Both players made 35 centuries last season.
92.
This season, Judd Trump has made 19 and Steve Maguire has made 10.
$97. $99.
Well, as he snookered himself, may be able to just see the outside edge. Excellent shot and a wonderful century. Century number 20 for the season so far, and his highest break the tournament.
$106.
See, he doesn't know where the white's going, does he?
Not a good positional player, is he? Oh, he's got to be careful of his tip.
To Trump, 106 in the frame.
Well, 106 proves enough to take the frame as Stephen Maguire walks out. He's got a lot to contemplate about. Judd Trump goes ahead to 4 frames to 1.
Yeah, and we've got a chance to show you actually a couple of things when we talk about spin. We've got a chance here to show you where Steve Maguire was, and I talked in commentary about when it's near the cushion like this, how difficult it is to avoid the ball colours. As we see him play the shot, because he's digging down on the ball, the white pushes through before it takes. So you see it there, just push through a little bit. Obviously, he was playing to come back in between the green and brown. And then a few seconds later, we see Judd Trump with the opposite side of the table. Now his hand's right on the table, And there was no problem there, Ken, was there, in getting it round the table. So 2 different examples there. When it's near the cushion, it's very, very easy to hit the baulk colours. When it's in the middle of the table, it's virtually impossible. Now, we have the chance here with Spot the Ball here, where we're going to show you the shot that Judd Trump played, or what happens to the cue ball. So he's hitting very, very low with left-hand side. Now, just watch the cue ball when it hits the cushion. It goes through first and skids, and then when it hits the cushion, you'll see the side take. So there's the side on the ball, and there it spins round, and that's exactly the shot that Judd Trump played through the balls.
Yeah, and you see the acceleration of the cue ball as it hits that top cushion. The side takes off the first cushion, and indeed off the second cushion.
It's amazing how long it takes, Ken, isn't it, for the side before it does speed up.
It's like a delayed reaction. It's a bit like screwing the ball as well. When they hit the screw shot, it takes a while for the screw to actually take on the cue ball. It sort of stops for a little bit and then accelerates as it's coming back.
Well, there we see the match stats for both these players, and the safety success is the key thing for me. I mean, when you consider that Judd Trump's been doing all the scoring, Judd's safety success is still relatively low when you consider he's leading 4-1. But his pot success is just absolutely superb. I mean, OK, it's at 93, but for me, it's better than that.
Yeah, and highest break of the match for Steve Maguire, very, very low, only a merely 37. He's going to have to improve on that. So after winning the first frame, Steve Maguire has lost the next 4. He's 4-1 down. He must get motoring pretty soon.
And just think, it was only an hour ago we were suggesting that Judd needed to get a foothold in the match because he was struggling. An hour later, he's 4-1 in front. It's amazing, isn't it, when things are going well before you completely miss it, the safety. As you can see with Steve Maguire's face there, he's quite disgusted the fact that he got the double kiss and the Blues come to his rescue. It always goes to the player that appears to be playing a little better than the other. They always get the run of the ball. Just keep an eye on the white here, because he played plain ball. He tried to avoid the kiss, and look at that. Looks for all money it's going to be left on, and then it just kept rolling and rolling. And now he's only got a possible shot to nothing to play, a very thin one. Played it well though, that's not too bad at all.
Yeah, here's a possible shot. Long red to corner. Now, as you see where Judd Trump has positioned his cue there in the top cushion, he wants to hit this top cushion and hit the red almost full ball just below the black spot. If he does that, he can play this as a shot to nothing. The white will stay on the black. He won't be in any danger of leaving another red on. Now watch the cue ball. Hit the red and stay on the black. He's a little bit unlucky. Just didn't catch the red full ball. Great pot. Almost perfect.
That was another example though, Ken, wasn't it? With Steve Maguire's safety. Absolutely. You'd been happy with that, wouldn't you? And he just knocks it in. That's about the 3rd time now from a really good safety shot he's not one in.
This is a difficult shot. Not quite sure we can get at this just using the rest. May need the long rest.
Yellow ball. Judd trump 1.
And there's the difference. Stephen Maguire gets a double kiss, leaves one on. So this is really, really worrying times now. If he lost this frame, it'd be very hard to see him win. In saying that, Sean Murphy was 5-0 in front yesterday. And Martin Gould did remarkable to get back to 5-4.
Six. Seven.
You see, got success now up to 93% for Judd.
14.
It's just gone astray.
It's touching ball.
He still has a pot on, but can he avoid the kiss on the red and the black? Oh, he's played that very
15.
well. Very, very well.
Yeah, the key to that shot, Ken, wasn't it? Getting that other red to get out of the way. He couldn't have played it better. It's a lovely shot. Reminds me so much of Alex Higgins and Jimmy White.
22.
He sees the shot very, very quickly. And I think I suppose in advice to other players, I mean, sometimes when you take your time, you start to think of things that could go wrong. Other players there might have thought, well, that red might stay in the way, is no advantage. But Judd just seems to see it very, very quickly.
Yes, and again, he's opened up
30.
these reds. Perfect position here. Doesn't have to do much with the cue ball.
31.
And as John Parrott said in the studio, he scores very, very quickly, doesn't he?
$38.
You'd have to suggest he's possibly the quickest player in the game now, wouldn't you? I mean, I know Jimmy's
39.
still very quick and Ronnie's very, very quick.
Yes, I think his average shot time in the Ronnie match was 17 seconds. In this match, there you
46.
see it, 19 seconds, 28 seconds for Stephen Maguire. So
47.
it's a very, very quick pace.
I don't know whether we have it or not, but it'll be interesting to see the tournament success in the shot time. But I would think it'd be well below 19, 20 seconds. We don't have it to hand at the moment, but
54.
I think that's the beauty of him. He just doesn't see any negatives, you know, because he plays so quickly.
55.
He doesn't really see what could possibly go wrong.
He's full of confidence as well. I think that World Championship, even though he would have been disappointing losing, but it's given him so
62.
much confidence. His win in China a couple of weeks before, just giving him a lot more experience, a lot more confidence in his own ability, and particularly on this big stage in front of the TV cameras, big crowds. He just wants to impress, show what he can do.
Thanks.
Yeah, I've got to be
63.
honest, I don't think there's been any other player in the world that could have possibly beaten Judd at the championship the way he was playing. And John Higgins just clung on to his coattails for a couple of sessions, and then of course Judd has one back session as this knowledgeable Barbican centre appreciates another frame going away from Steve Maguire.
70.
I'm just saying that Higgins just took on to his coattails. Then when he had the bad session, which usually at the Crucible you have a bad session, Higgins got himself back in the match and went on to win.
71.
And we have back-to-back centres. Little cannon on the pink would help here. That's absolutely to the inch.
76. $77.
Yes, and in the few short years as a professional, he's already
84.
accumulated 129 centuries, 130 after the last round.
85.
It's a good return. Steve Maguire, on the other hand, 205 centuries since he turned professional in 1999.
91.
Well, this has been a masterclass, Ken, hasn't it? It really has.
$98.
You think he's feeling his left arm now?
I think he's probably got his own left arm now, yeah.
Thanks.
If you're playing with somebody else's, I'd like to
99.
bolt the other left arm. Wait for the applause for another fabulous century.
$104. $106.
Just playing a little exhibition shot there, but unfortunately never worked.
106.
Well, back-to-back centuries, both of 106. Steve Maguire once again did precious little wrong, but he's on a roll now. Judd Trump goes 5-1 ahead in this match.
Frame 7. Judd Trump to break.
Well, but look at that pot, Hazel. Probably quite a bit. The only unfortunate thing is just finished that little bit closer to the cushion to make this stun shot on the black, which he'll have to probably play. When he's running it through, I don't see how he can get onto a red if he runs it through. He's going to have to play a little stun shot, and that makes the pot very, very difficult. Yeah, he's queuing down on it now, trying to just flick off the red. This is missable. Deserves to be on a red, and he is. Well played.
8. $9.
Yeah, again, just a little bit short of pace. I'd love to be a little bit straighter on his black. Could have just dropped the through for the red just above it. So now I have to go into the pack again. Trusting a bit of luck. Yeah, how's your luck? Looks pretty good to me. Well, I say
16.
that. I thought those reds just going over the middle pocket was going to be on. Well, you can't believe he's not on a red there. For all the world, it looked like those reds going over the middle pocket next to the blue. Just come and blocked each other. Just have a look at this again. Have a look at that red going towards the blue and the other one just coming up to cover it. It's amazing. Oh, you want to have good eyesight to get that red in there.
Well, it definitely pots off the left-hand jaw, doesn't it? But certainly not off the right-hand jaw.
Stephen Maguire, 16.
Very, very unlucky there, Stephen. I mean, just look at the way the balls are spread, and to think none of those red potted anywhere is quite incredible. You're entitled to bemoan your luck when something like that happens. It never rains, but it pours, does it? Completely miss-hit the safety. Hit the jaw, kissed into the brown, and left it relatively safe. Oh, this would go down as a relatively good safety shot from Stephen, but the key thing is got the cue ball on the cushion, but you just know that Judd's going to take this on, and OK, he'll have no idea where the cue ball's going. He might not actually play it because the cue ball's going into the red, so he may refuse this one. Well, he didn't refuse it. I think it would have been, the score would have been 4-2. He'd have refused it. The fact that he felt he was 5-1 in front, he probably pushed the boat out a little. Bit of pressure on this ball. Well done. Well done. He'll be disappointed he didn't get a frame on the board now. Highest break is 32 so far. That was 37 as well. He made 32 and 37 in the opening frame. He should get a lot more here.
8. 9. Sixteen. 17.
It was a nice little shot, wasn't it? Just holding for the pink into the left centre. Don't think pink goes on a spot, so highest available is the brown.
23. 24.
40-point lead, so just another 3 or 4 reds and colours, and Should be enough to reduce the gap.
31.
He's
32.
already made a couple of centuries in this tournament thus far, so obviously when he gets in, he's scoring pretty well in his previous matches. But Steve Davis said in the studio, he's just being
39.
bombarded by Judd Trump. He's potting and his break building. It's very hard to play against, isn't it, Willie? You know, very hard to hide the white anywhere, and every single shot you're under pressure
40.
with.
Yeah, it makes the safety a whole different ball game, doesn't it? You just got to virtually snooker him when you play Judd Trump. You know, you can't afford to leave. Okay, you can get the white on the cushion, but if you leave anything sticking out, he'll go for it. And I think that must have certainly put Stephen off today, because he's played very well throughout the tournament.
45. Sorry.
Probably, in fairness, better than Judd, because Judd against Dominic wasn't very good. At spells against Ronnie, he was fantastic, but he just have that little times in matches where he just suddenly disappears for a while. It's already his highest break of the match so far.
46.
You'd expect him to go on to win the frame now.
.69
53.
ahead, so just this red be enough.
54.
We've already had, well, you see, yeah, 94% tournament pot success rate.
61.
And he's hanging on in this tournament.
62.
And when you think he might be going out of the tournament, Ken, with a 94% pot success rate, that just shows you how good Judd Trump's playing. Well, what a shame, no century.
62
Perhaps
frame.
deserved a century there. The break came to an end at 62, but the lead of 78 is more than enough for Judd Trump to concede. And Judd Trump now leads 5-2. So Stephen Maguire did what he had to do, Ken. It's so difficult, in fairness, when you're 5-1 behind and you're sitting there thinking, well, I haven't done that much wrong.
No, he hasn't. Just a few loose safety shots, and Judd Trump has made the most of his opportunities, and I think that's just the difference between the two players.
Do you think Stephen's now got to kind of play Judd Trump's way? You know, play very, very attacking, go for everything, or would you still consider he's got to play safety first?
Well, I think the only thing that's letting Judd Trump down is his safety in this match, but as I said, it's very hard to hide the cue ball because he's such a good putter. But I think Steve Maguire's just got to really concentrate on his own game. Just take each frame as it comes, and that's the beauty about snooker, that every single frame is different. And the hardest one to win is always the one to get over the line. And Steve Maguire will know that more than any. So every frame is different. Just concentrate on what's ahead of you and see what happens.
Well, he's certainly discovered how to cover the reds on the right-hand side, but in doing so, he's brought one out on the left-hand side this time. Okay, I don't think it's anywhere near straight enough to be able to get back into balk from it. So maybe just rolling up off the side cushion into the pack. There you can see, you can clearly see that red, but too risky to play for the black off that. Yeah, good shot. That's a lot better safety. If it kissed the brown, it wouldn't have been any good, but as you can clearly see, he's got him snookered on virtually all 15 reds, apart from the one just below the pink, but that's no good.
played a shot similar to this in his last attempt, so the angle is still there. He's just got to pass the yellow just before the middle pocket, one cushion, nestle into the red. The only problem with that is if he doesn't get tight to the pack, he'll be leaving that loose red on into the left-hand corner pocket.
Once he'd kissed the yellow, he must have thought I was going to leave a long pot on, but luckily the way he kissed the yellow meant he would have been hampered to play the long one, so he's playing a safety. Well, if he'd had a kiss, he would have been able to see this red through the green and brown, but once he got the kiss, of course, he's now covered the red. It's amazing, isn't it? Doesn't matter how good a player you are, that little bit of luck always helps.
Yes, good shot. A little bit wary of leaving that red over the bottom right hand corner pocket, but he's covered it. Could come off the side cushion here and just lay on this red here. He's got to be careful he doesn't leave that into the left centre. Well, a round of applause, but he has a few reds to go at here. That wasn't the best shot in the world.
Wonder whether we're going to see a turnaround in this match now. He looks like he's got the bit between the teeth again, and he's one of those very aggressive players. That's amazing, isn't it? Over the tournament, this is their third match, and both players have potted exactly the same amount of balls, 437. I must admit, he's one of the very few players in the game you could see a turnaround from 5-1 behind. Maguire, very determined player.
Five.
Yeah, now there are plenty of loose reds available, but because pink and black are tied up, if he just plays a little cannon just on that red, just to the right of the pink. There you see it, absolutely perfect, well played. Brings the pink into play.
17.
Couldn't have hit that much better.
And earlier on in the match, Ken, we talked about a shot where he could have brought the pink into play and didn't do that time, and it ended up like lost that frame and went on to lose 5 on the trot. I wonder whether that playing that shot now has turned the tide, and he'll get a bit of a run going. All of a sudden, everything he's hitting is going perfect. Just fractionally off straight, so he can get down this end of the table. He's not had a wonderful chance yet, because those two reds are obscuring the right-hand corner pocket for the pink. We know the pink's available in the middle, so he's got a little bit of work to do yet. And that's another good shot, because he can get onto the pink in the middle quite easily now, I think. Well, maybe not. He's looking at that bottom red of the two. I thought potted, it doesn't, so maybe have to screw back for the blue in the middle, and got to be a little careful here, because if he plays the screw back, the in-off will be very, very close. No, he's playing the screw. It depends what kind of kiss he gets on this the red it's next to. Well, played for the pink in the
24.
Middle, and this is a little bit tricky. Well, he's playing for it into the corner pocket, because he didn't quite get on it in the middle, so corner pocket he is. Well played. Kept the break going.
$30. 31. $37. 38. $43.
Doesn't have the correct angle on the right-hand red to get onto the pink, so he's playing the bottom red of the two.
44.
And played very confidently as well. That's a very, very good shot. He's now seems to have found his form again, Stephen Maguire. Judd Trump won't be worrying about things just yet, but of course if you happen to win the next frame as well to close within one, we may see a little bit of nerves pop in, but at this moment in time he'd be pretty pleased.
$50. 51.
The will to win from Maguire is showing this afternoon. It has to be said, over the last couple of years, I'm not too sure whether he's had that will to win
57.
so much in a battle, that is. We know when he's playing great, it's very, very easy to win when you're playing well, but when your opponent is playing well against you, do you have that fight? Do you have that will to win?
58.
Today, 5-1 behind, he's just showed us that he's back to the Maguire of old. He wants to win everything he plays in, and you know, he's had to suffer a barrage of breaks, a barrage of breaks, 72, 62, 43 and 2 centuries from Judd
64.
Trump. But he's battled back well, he really has.
$65.
The applause there for frame ball. Now we can try once again to try and bring these other balls into play. 2 hours doesn't seem that long. The match has
71.
been very, very high quality.
Nice, excellent shot. The crowd enjoyed that one. Another possibility, a century.
$79.
There you see it. 1 green, 3 blues, 7 pinks, and 1 black. Good shot. He's kept the
80.
cone. Just ran out of position slightly.
$80 in the frame.
Well, he misses the pink, but he won't mind. He gets another frame on the back. And he closes the gap now. As Judd Trump still leads by 5 frames to 3.
Judd. Thank you. Frame 9. Judd Trump.
Yeah, very good point that from Steve, actually. I mean, a family man would find it difficult to play all year round. But I think the game's in great hands at the moment. In the 80s, when the boom was on and we had the pleasure of being with Barry as the Matchroom 7, as it were then, and we travelled the world far and wide. Always first class as well. That was good. Actually, I didn't realise you could turn right on a plane until just recently. Well, it's happened once in the match, and it nearly happened again. Oh, that brown now is a wonderful target. He can swing this cue ball around 3 cushions and get right in behind the brown. Decided to find an alternative safety, but can't quite see why he's not playing the last red of the group of 3 down the bottom right hand side.
Well, it's such a big target between the yellow and brown here. Good opportunity with a good safety. Well, he's gone the other way and spotted a pot, and that was an excellent shot. And he's on the black. And that was well spotted, wasn't it?
Yeah, how did he sort it out though? When we get a chance to quickly look at this here, there doesn't look anything on there, does it? Hullowitz has spotted one. And he missed one red by a fraction, missed the outside red by a fraction. But the key thing is it went in and he's on the black.
Very well controlled. I'm not quite sure whether the black spots, but have a look at the top spin here. Arcs the cue ball and just stops. Very well played. And those two reds that were close to the corner, right-hand corner pocket, they were the two reds that he wanted to play on. Very well controlled indeed.
Usually when a player plays a hard shot, his head would have to move a lot. We may get a chance to look back at that black in a couple of seconds' time. You'll notice here his head never deviated at all. I can't believe a player can hit it so hard and his head stays so still. Very unusual.
$14. $15. $20. $21.
Just a fraction away from being top side of the blue, but the fact that he's got these two reds to the extreme sides of the table, he doesn't have to worry too much about the cue ball at the moment. But they'll be gone in a couple of minutes, so then it'll be essential to get top side of the blue. But now the black spot's clear, he'd love to get up on the black at some
26.
stage.
Yeah, he could possibly play on a couple of colours here. Pink does go into the right-hand corner pocket, but he could screw up for the blue as well.
27.
Just overhit it slightly. He's on the green or blue if he wishes.
Yes, ideally he would definitely like the black at this end, but as we can see, he can't play the black and get through the brown and yellow, so the green is going to be another power shot. The thing is, if he just rolls the green, then he's going to have to play the red at distance, and he can't guarantee getting onto a colour, so he needs to get really past the blue spot area. Anywhere in between pink and blue would do. In playing the blue, it's going to play it in the corner pocket and just drop on the cushion.
Well, there's a red that goes 32 in the middle of this pack, and he can just stun out for the pink. And this is certainly open 33 things up now. Excellent opportunity to seal the frame and match at this visit. And it all came from that wonderful opening red. Steve Maguire, for all the world, seemed to played a good safety shot.
I think for the third time in the match, he felt he played a good safety shot, and the 3 times it's cost him the frame.
$40.
This is good stuff. It's been put up to him in the last couple of frames. There you see the pot success. Trump 94%, Maguire 92%. That's pretty good.
47.
That's a strange one, isn't it? Because Judd's won 3 frames from Maguire's 3 safety shots, and that's why he's down at 88. But of the 2 players, Maguire's, in my opinion, played the best safety of the match. It's a strange one, that.
53.
When you consider he came to the table having not potted a ball for 20 minutes and knocked
54.
that first long red in, which was awesome. It looks like going to win the frame of match now without a black in it. Well, 1 black, the opening black, but this has been top draw, this break.
$60.
2 more reds, 2 colours. Judd Trump will be the first player into the semi-final.
$61.
Never likes to roll a ball in. He's perfect on the pink here, just to roll it in and off the cushion, but he always prefers to pump them in at pace, doesn't he, Ken?
Yes. And frame a match ball coming up.
67. $68.
Steve Maguire will have to wait another year to have a go at this UK Championship.
74.
But it's been a fascinating match. This
Thanks.
boy has scored
75.
very, very well when he's got in. Very prolific. His confidence is building every single match he's playing in now. Could have been out in the first round
80.
against Dominic Dale, but for a couple of flukes. But he's certainly
81.
been a different player since then. And there's another example of his cue par. He's already had 2 centuries in this match, about 106. Can we see another one?
87.
I'm just trying to get my head around what Stephen Maguire must be thinking at the moment, because, like I say, he's lost 3 frames from having him absolutely glued on the top cushion. And he's made 3 breaks off the 3 reds he's potted. I mean, what are you supposed to do? This is the possible 27th
94.
century of the tournament coming up.
95.
And he'll join the ranks of the players that have made 3 in the tournament, and amazing enough, before this match he hadn't made one. Very, very good. Absolutely played superb today as Judd Trump. He's potted balls that, well, I've never seen pots like them from the positions he's been in. Steve Maguire's had nothing to be ashamed about today. He's just been out-potted. He'll go away from this match thinking, well, I've got to beat 6-3, and I can think of about 2 pots I've missed.
109.
Very rare does a player get beat with a 92 pot success rate, and that's what is going to happen here.
$114.
I bet you didn't spot that one, Willie.
Thanks.
Hold on to your hats with this black.
120.
This could end up in the front row.
Well, that snooker has been absolutely out of the top draw. Stephen Maguire can only congratulate Judd Trump on what has been an amazing exhibition of snooker. 3 centuries and pots off the lampshade take Judd Trump into the semi-final by 6 frames to 3.